My name is Spencer, and we made it to the weekend. There's a quartz vein. That's what that is. Oh, don't. Look like quartz from the road. That is not quartz. Not even close. I'm out here in the middle of nowhere by myself to do some prospecting. And I'm into some country here that not very many people have been in the last 100 years. On my way here, I was driving past the bank, and I'm just looking at some of the rocks up on the bank here, and I thought I saw a quartz outcropping, which, you know, quartz is where gold comes from, so I thought I'd go give it a look. It wasn't quartz. It was Mount Mazama ash that had been compressed over the last 12,000 years. And what was interesting is I started seeing little glass in it. Now, I've only been here for an hour, kind of just walking around, looking around, and I'm not even looking yet. Okay, you want to take a guess at what that is? I found this in Mount Mazama ash. The lighting is not good. I'm sorry. I'll show this to you again tomorrow. That is common opal. There's a chunk right there. This stuff is pretty brittle, so it doesn't get used for jewelry very often. But I got a small bag of it here. Shout out to Dan Hurd and his channel. Thank you for that. I'm one of your Patreons. And Jason from Mount Baker Mining and Metals. Thank you for your channel. Polly the Pioneer, thank you for your channel. You're watching prospecting shows from your cubicle on the 16th floor of your skyscraper. Wishing you were here. Well, good morning, everybody. I need to get some breakfast. I need to get some coffee in me. And then we're going to come back and take a look at some of these. Let me get the sun behind it there. Look at that. Yeah. Okay. They're not worth anything. Not right now. Not this kind. Oh, that's not going to focus. Man, that thing's like a hockey puck. Wow. All right. It can't be healthy. I think it's foundation for an old cabin. And the cabin's long since rotted away. That's what I think. I can go that way. I don't know what's that way. Map doesn't show what's past that. Just forest forever. If I go down this way, the creek is down there, but I can't get over these opals, which are that way. Now I can't see the screen. Yeah, that's a little better, I think. Okay. And those crystals right there, that's silica, also known as opal. This kind of silica. They're little tiny glass spheres. And this is also known as silicon dioxide, also known as glass. So yeah, opal is just a form of glass. They're little itty bitty glass spheres. If you Google, I'm not sure how much, there we go. If you Google electron microscope opal, you'll see that it's just like a huge box of golf balls all stuck together. That one's got a little vein running through it. Now, I took a closer look at these last night with a flashlight, of course, while it was dark out, and I'm not seeing any, what the miners call color on any of these. Right there's a bunch. This one's kind of got some opal just running all the way through it. So that makes this what's called common opal, and I've heard it called root beer opal. And not worth anything except as an indicator of what else might be out there. So there's no way I can leave today and go do something different without going back to this patch and looking for some opal that might actually have some color in it. Definitely. Got some sparkle in it. Look at that. All right there. Let me knock that off and see if it's got any color in it. Oh, Jesus. Okay, you're gonna love this. Look at all of that. That is all opal. Now, I'm not really seeing a whole lot of shiny running through it. There's the end of my finger, give you an idea how wide that is. But this whole rock has got it all the way through it. There's some right there. And a little bit right there. But this is the side I just broke open. So that is definitely running all the way through the rock. I mean, that's almost that's a specimen all by itself. That's something I'd clean up and sell that bad boy just the way it is. Look at that. All right, that's going home with me. I don't see any of the shiny stuff. Not yet. But some of this looks pretty promising. So I just got that from that hole right there. And I'm not really seeing any more on the surface. So I may want to keep going over in this direction. The opal miners in Australia always say when you hear the sound of glass, you stop swinging because you know you're into it. The stuff that surrounds opals, the stuff that you don't want, is called potch, and it's just the junk on the outside that isn't worth anything. But opals have to grow in something. There's a crack right there. And opals don't grow in solid rock. They form where a piece of organic material got smashed and covered up by this ash. And then over the years and years and centuries and millennia, that organic material gets replaced by the silica. And then you have opals that are in little flat cavities, like this one. Man, they got so much stuff down in Australia, it's just not fair. They go out and dig a hole and find the gold nuggets, 4 ounces. That's just a day's work for them. Most of us can't find 4 ounces in 5 years. So this is this green stuff here. We see this all over in this part of the world. It looks like everybody calls it baby poop. It's serpentine, a form of serpentine. It hasn't gotten real solid yet. And see how that kind of army green color. Yeah, so the rock is called serpentine. The mineral is called serpentinite. And if you put it under enough heat, enough pressure for long enough, it turns into jade. Jadeite. And hit a great big patch of it right here. Where are you, opal? Where's the camera? There it is. Right there. That's opal. Right in there. I'm gonna see if I can pull that out of the road. And there's an interesting piece right there. And I found this just sitting here in the road. So evidently, this rock was not left here. This has come off the hill. And there's little flakes of opal all over the place. So it doesn't look like this is an isolated incident. Just weird. Little rock right next to it. There you go. All right, let's see. No. No. Man. You just can't get any traction at all. There's nothing to stand on. I'm back. So this is my most interesting spot right here. Boy, if that had some color in it. That's thousands and thousands of dollars worth of opal right there. I mean, it still is specimen quality. I could see a museum in the area wanting to buy this and nap. What I'm going to do tomorrow is I'm going to go up the road here. Tomorrow I'm just going to bring my backpack and my gold pan and just kind of everything that I think I need for one day. And I'm going to go up that road as far as I can and then drop down to where the creek is. And then just prospect down the creek and then come back up here. You don't find stuff like that and walk away from it. My GoPro died. It's just frozen on a picture of me turning it off. So, that's it. Let's go back right now and let's drive back over there and see if we can find some more of this material. Why walk when you have a perfectly bad road to drive on? This is one ginormous chunk of opal. And I don't see any sparklies. It's got both halves here. They broke in half, which is fine. Not sure how they fit back together. But here's what's interesting. What does that look like to you? My name's Spencer, and we made it to the weekend. But here's what's interesting. What does that look like to you? Looks like a tree branch to me. Looks like a tree branch that eventually rotted away and opal came in and replaced it. So the kind of opal we're looking for here is old tree branches. So that's pretty cool. That whole thing right here, all of that is opal, all the way down through there. Now, that is a ginormous piece of opal. We'll see if I can get most of that out of there without breaking it apart. Okay, I gotta stop for a minute and show you this. Okay, right here, you can see where the opal starts. It goes all the way up here. This is where the two pieces I just showed you, where they broke off from, right there. That's still a little wobbly. But this is amazing. Look at this. I've never seen this in a book or on a video before. Okay, this, all of this, it's a branch. It has opalized. If you get up to the top part here, here's the same branch. It's still kind of wood. It's soft. It just feels like wet, rotten wood, and it just seems to keep going up into the hill. But my God, this rock is hard. But look at that. I mean, if I can get this thing out of the ground as one big piece with it's opalized on one side, and then still the original unrotted wood on the other side, I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. If I can get that out of the ground in one piece, it will be a museum piece. All right, I'll keep trying. Caught up to where I am. First, I have to apologize. I did a bunch of work without recording any of it. My phone, you ever got one of those high temperature alarms on it? It says it's just not gonna turn on or do anything anymore. Well, it did that to me. I can't hit anything back here because this is opal. If I hit anything back in here, it'll just shatter it to a million pieces. And then I'm trying to, that blue is paint. That's this blue paint. So you're not seeing blue opal there. Don't get your hopes up. Every now and then I'll look at it and go, oh my God, look, blue opal. But it may end up just being one big beautiful display rock. You know, if I can get it out in a big enough piece, there's just little pieces of opal all over it. And I don't know what this thing's gonna look like on the other side, if I can even get it out. And, yeah, piss poor planning, right? This is what it looks like. It is extremely hard, and all the way around it there really isn't a whole lot going on. And then you got a little bit of petrified wood right there at the top. Cranberry juice. Drink warm because we don't have any ice. Well, that'll improve the quality of your day. All right. We need some water so we can clean those rocks off. And there's water right there. Let's go for a walk. Here's a bucket that I use for prospecting. Here's my coffee cup. I need water in my bucket. You know what you do when you're in the mountains? You lower your standards. When I'm done here, I'm gonna drink out of this. Because why not? All right. That ought to be enough. Here's to you and here's to me, and if by chance we disagree, well, F you and here's to me. Oh. All right, you ready to clean some opals? Let's see what we got here. The entire top of that whole slice right across the top there is opal. It's not the real good expensive stuff, but what a hell of a specimen. Look at that, right? And then, well, that can't be quartz underneath it. You don't get opal on top of quartz. And you can see there's it sure doesn't feel like calcite though. I don't know. Is that opal on top of quartz? Maybe. It does look like a little tiny quartz vein sitting on top of another quartz vein, doesn't it? And I don't think that's what we still call it. I think we call it, is it Bernardino white or something like that. I don't know. That's just one of those stories. You'll have to Google that and find out what the details are. I'm just kind of rambling now. I'm tired. All right, this is the one that I spent the last 2 hours of the day working on. And man, this thing was, I don't know, it's made out of kryptonite or something. I don't know. I don't know, who knows? We might be breaking some records here though. Okay, I've come over to the other side of the street here to, so we can get a little bit of sunshine. You recognize where we are. Crossing the street, some old lady in a Prius damn near ran me over. She flipped me off and then kept driving. How rude. Okay, no, that's not true. Here we go. The sparkly is not gold. The sparkly is water. So that's going to be in the, what, 330, 350 range nanometers to make the kind of blue tint to it. I think red is in 650 nanometer range. Let's see, what else have I got here? Some of these are amazing, and some of these not so much. Now, this one is going to be an example. I showed you this a little while before, a couple hours ago when I was still mining. All right, what does it look like? Looks like a piece of wood, right? But it's opalized. These pieces that are pieces of, obviously were wood before they became opalized. Oh, there, and it, whoop, boop, boop. I found how they fit together. There we go. It takes 3 rings to control 1. No, wait, 1 ring to control 3. All right, so I may end up, I don't know if I'm going to glue that together. It's kind of neat that you can see inside. But look at that. Doo-doo. Seems like something magical should happen when I put those back together, right? That is going to be extraordinary when I show that to somebody. It looks like petrified wood, but then when you look at it closer, you can see it's crystallized. Petrified wood is not crystallized. Opal isn't. I don't know. Opal is kind of in a category of its own. It's not really a crystal either, but you can tell that's not petrified wood. So if I show that to a college professor, and they'll go, "Oh yeah, opalized wood." Well, anyway, that's all the big ones and all the little ones. You know what the difference is between humans and animals? The toothbrush. All right, there we go. You know why I know that nobody's prospecting me anymore? Because I found this on the side of the road. Getting pretty close to nighttime. I'm tired. Every time you whack away at something, you just slide down the hill. And then you gotta claw your way back up. I don't even have the option of calling 911. Yeah, if something goes sideways, I better be able to figure it out myself. If I break my leg, I have to wrap it up and figure out how the F to get back to civilization. You know, this is what it feels like to be alive. So we'll figure it out tomorrow morning. Sleep well. Peace.